join me in the prayer. Heavenly Father, we live in a dynamic world where it's hard not to focus on the issues that affect us greatly. Help us to look beyond our own interests and make decisions which are good for all citizens of this great country. Give us the resolve to make the changes which enable us to craft a safe and sustainable path forward. Tonight, please be with those families of all workers, but especially those government workers who may continue to provide essential services even though compensation may not be guaranteed. Please hold those close who are in distress, those who may be challenged with family, faith, or financial difficulties. Give them comfort in knowing that you are in control, and only through your guidance will they realize a richer and satisfying life. And as always, be with our first responders and those standing to watch tonight. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. All right, for our veteran-led pledge today, we'd like to welcome retired Naval Air Crewman First Class Trenton Davis, who will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance today. Davis honorably served our nation for 20 years in the U.S. Navy and retired in February of 2010. His distinguished career featured overseas deployments and assignments across the United States. He is a highly decorated veteran with honors including the Navy Iraq and Afghanistan campaign medals, National Defense and Service medals, and qualifications such as the Enlisted Aviation Warfare Specialist and Naval Air Crewman PENS. Davis joined the Navy to travel, fly, and seek adventure. Now a Middleburg resident, Davis supports the Department of Defense as a contractor providing engineering services and continues to give back to his community through volunteer work with Toys for Tots, the Pace Center for Girls, Lift-a-thon events, and his local church. Thank you for your outstanding service to our country and for your continued commitment to our community. So please lead us in the pledge, and then if you'd like to say a few words after.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you once again for being here. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for allowing me to say the pledge. I am honored to be amongst the Clay County community here. It was my privilege and honor to serve in the United States Navy and all the veterans and men and women who served beside me. Really enjoyed that. Was proud to retire and I give my all for my country. I'm also proud to be a part of Clay County. I've been, since I've been out of the service, since I retired, I've been 15 years in the Clay County school system, which was a pleasure for me. And getting to know people like Mr. Scrumlow, who I work beside at Ridgeview High School, was awesome. He taught me a lot, so I really appreciate the time we were able to have together. Also, working here in Clay County, I do a lot of volunteering now that I'm retired, just trying to be involved because, you know, we only make Clay County better as we work together. And it's a wonderful place to raise our kids, our family, and again, supporting one another is very important. So if you can get involved with them in any way they need, definitely be there because this is a great place that we all live in. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Madam Chair, while they're taking the picture, I just want to just say a few words about what I know as Coach Davis. You know, Trenton is an amazing guy in the fact that he served as just one piece of his service that he gives to our community. And he built our girls weightlifting program at Ridgeview High School from the ground up. And he was one guy that you could always count on campus. If you needed a helping hand, he was right there with both hands ready to go. So thank you for your service to our country and your continued service to our community. We appreciate you.
All right, I'd like to call to order the Board of County Commissioner meeting for October 28th, 2025. And we'd like the record to reflect all of our commissioners who are here except for Commissioner Condon. And we will go right into pet adoptions.
Okay, our first animal today is Kit, female domestic short hairs, 6 months old and weighs 5 pounds. Kit is a certified love missile. Warning, Kit may cause sudden snuggling, unsolicited face kisses, and full-body cat hugs. She doesn't walk, she launches straight into your chest, like a furry, purring boomerang that never misses. This gal is a professional cuddler with zero boundaries. She's clingier than your ex and twice as charming. If you've ever wanted a cat who treats affection like a contact sport, Kit's your MVP. Our first dog is Hemi, a neutered male, shepherd mix, 4 years old and weighs 46 pounds. Meet Hemi, a big-hearted, toy-loving treat snob with brains and charm to spare. He thrives in a calm, adult-only home environment. Hemi enjoys training sessions with clear communication and hanging out with polite, moderately active dogs. If you're looking for a semi-active sidekick who knows what he wants and gives love generously, Hemi's ready to meet his match. Our next kitten is Coca-Cola. It's a neutered male, domestic short-haired, 2 months old and weighs 2 pounds. Need a little pick-me-up? Meet Coca-Cola, the fizzy tuxedo kitten who's 100% pure perfection. He's got the classic black and white look, the energy of a shaken soda can, and the sweetness of a vending machine hug. Coca-Cola is always on the move, zooming, pouncing, and occasionally flopping dramatically like he's run out of bubbles. He's bubbly, snuggly, and guaranteed to make your heart fizz. Adopt Coca-Cola today because life's better with a little sparkle. Our last dog is Miles, neutered male, mixed breed, Muffin, 2 years old and weighs 70 pounds. Meet Miles, a dorky gentleman with a big personality, lovable pup with playful energy and a one-of-a-kind look. His mismatched eyes are showstoppers. He's happiest tossing toys, chasing snacks, and cuddling up after a good romp. He thrives with structure and would love a home that supports his training journey. Miles gets along best with friendly, easygoing dogs who match his bouncy play style. If you're into quirky charm and spirited companionship, Miles is ready to be your loyal sidekick. Ready to meet your new best friend? Our adoptable animals are waiting to add some extra love and fun to your life. From wagging tails and purring kitties, we've got the perfect companion just for you. Want to see who's available? Head over to our website and meet our adorable crew looking for their forever homes. If you have any questions, you can drop us a line at clayadoptions@claycountygov.com and let's chat. Don't wait. Your new best friend is a click away. And pictured, the little kitten is Dusk. We're always in need of foster homes for kittens like Dusk and his sibling. They are looking for a foster home where they can grow, receive socialization, and get the care they need until they are ready for adoption. Could you provide Dusk and one of her siblings a loving temporary home? And if you're interested in helping out our furry friends, but you can't bring one home, please take a look at our Amazon wish list. We are always in need of items for the shelter animals. Just go to Amazon.com. And that completes our pet adoptions.
Very good, thank you. We have 2 proclamations. If my fellow commissioners could meet me down on the floor. All right, our first proclamation is in honor of the incredible service and sacrifice of our nation's veterans. Veterans Day will be recognized on November 11th, 2025. We are honored to have several local veterans with us here today, and we'd like for you all to come up here if you're a veteran, everyone. Yes, we can clap right now, that's great, yes. Staff even, any staff that's veterans, please come up. Don't hide, we'll find you. There you go. Come on up. All right, is that everyone? We are honored also to have Paray Bass from Congressman Aaron Bean's office. if she could come on up too. Thank you all for being here, and we will, Commissioner Scrumlow is going to read the proclamation now.
The proclamation reads, whereas in 1954, President Dwight D. Eisenhower called upon all Americans to observe November 11th as Veterans Day, urging the nation to solemnly remember the sacrifices of all those who fought so valiantly on the seas, in the air, and on foreign shores to preserve our heritage of freedom, and to renew our commitment to the cause of lasting peace, ensuring that their sacrifices were not in vain. And whereas we can never fully repay the debt of gratitude that we owe to the courageous men and women who served in the United States Armed Forces, those who were wounded in service, and those who gave their lives in defense of our freedoms. And whereas Veterans Day serves as a solemn reminder of our duty to care for and support our veterans, just as they have selflessly served and protected us. It's a time to honor their enduring legacy of service, sacrifice, and patriotism. And whereas Clay County proudly stands with our veterans and veterans organizations and encourages all residents to show their support through donations, volunteer efforts, and participation in local Veterans Day events to honor the service and sacrifices of our nation's heroes. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of County Commissioners of Clay County, Florida, does hereby recognize and honor the bravery, dedication, and service of all United States veterans. On this day and every day, we express our deepest gratitude to these patriots for their unwavering commitment to our country and the freedoms that we hold dear. Duly adopted by the Board of County Commissioners, Clay County, Florida, this 28th day of October 2025. Do I have a motion? And motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. And the motion carries unanimously. And once again, on behalf of all of us, veterans, thank you, thank you, thank you.
All right, and so I'm going to pass the mic around. We'll start with Rich Carey from Veteran Services. And if you speak, just introduce yourself and let us know where you're from.
Okay. Rich Carey, Clay County Veteran Services, right there on College Drive. And make sure if you're a veteran, you know a veteran that have not enrolled in VA healthcare, please go get them enrolled in VA healthcare. And also come by and see one of us veteran service officers, because a lot of veterans out there have not done that. And when we get the call, they're 83-something years old in a nursing home, and VA can't step in and help. So we want to take care of that before that. By the way, we got some events coming up. I won't steal the thunder for the November 8th one, but we have one tonight, the Veteran Entrepreneurship for veterans and their families, and we're having that at the Thrasher Horn at 6:30. And we still have a couple seats, so if you want to scoot on over there, come on over. And on November 11th at Camp Blanding, we got the Camp Blanding Museum Day. Make sure you come out and visit. You don't have to have access to the base, because they're going to do it at the museum, okay? And a lot of activities and stuff. But the big thing is you get to have hot dogs and hamburgers at World War II prices. So it starts at 11 o'clock. And we have some of our folks here are going to be out there cooking too, so you'll see them out there. So at this time, I'm going to hand it over to Ansel Lewis, and he wants to talk about a special event coming up on November 8th.
All right, thank you, Rich. All right, thank you, Rich, for that. November 11th has a lot of events going on, but November 8th, we have our second annual Veterans Day 5K right here in Clay County. Why go across the bridge when you can stay right here in Clay County and run a 5K? And you can run over our bridge, which is the overpass over 23. So come on out November 8th at 8 o'clock in the morning, and come join us and run this 5K. All right? Or you can walk it. Bring your dogs and just walk it. And you can roll it as well. Right. So I had a lot of ideas. That means you're coming out to do those things, right? All right, with that, I'll pass it over.
So this is a message on behalf of Congressman Bean. Our office put this into the official congressional record today, and so I will read that now. Mr. Speaker, Veterans Day is a day when our nation pauses to give thanks to the brave men and women who have worn the uniform of the United States of America. In Clay County, Florida, honoring our veterans isn't just something we do once a year. It's a part of who we are. This county's history is woven with stories of service from generations who trained at Camp Landing to those who served overseas in defense of our freedom, and to the many veterans who continue to serve our community today as teachers, business owners, first responders, coaches, and volunteers. Clay County's patriotism runs deep. You see it every day in the flags flying over our neighborhoods, the quiet moments of respect at community events, and the countless ways our citizens care for those who've returned home from service. This is a county that not only thanks its veterans, but walks beside them. Today, as we reflect on their courage and sacrifice, we remember that our freedom was and is secured by ordinary Americans who answered an extraordinary call. We honor those who serve, those who continue to serve, and those who made the ultimate sacrifice in defense of our country. So on behalf of a grateful nation, thank you to the veterans and military families of Clay County. You are the living heart of our freedom, and we are thankful every single day for all you've given. God bless our veterans, God bless Clay County, and God bless these United States.
That was beautiful. Thank you. Anyone else like to talk? Anybody?
Yeah.
Yeah, my name is John Rourke. I am the president of the Veterans Council, Clay County. Ladies and gentlemen, commissioners, esteemed guests, and members of our community, today we gather in honor to celebrate the brave men and women who have served our nation with unwavering courage and dedication. Veterans Day is a time to reflect and to sacrifice, and on the sacrifice made by those who have worn the uniform, to acknowledge their service and to express our deepest gratitude. Our veterans have stood on the front lines defending our freedoms and preserving the values we hold dear. Their commitment, often at great personal cost, is a testament to their strength and their love for our country. As we commemorate this day, let us also remember that our duty to support our veterans extends beyond this single day. We must strive to provide them with the care, resources, and opportunities they deserve, ensuring that they are never forgotten. In closing, let us come together as a community, united in gratitude and respect for our veterans. Let us honor their legacy by striving for a nation that reflects the values they fought to protect. Thank you to our commissioners for honoring our veterans in Clay County.
So what we want to do is we're going to get a picture. So the less tall folks, if you could come forward, and some of the taller folks, if you could go back. We really want to get that one well on that name right there. So I'm not
We have
gonna-
all tall people today.
I'm not going to pass any judgment, but just try to squeeze everybody in. Everyone's face.
All right, our next proclamation recognizes National Epilepsy Awareness Month. We are joined by Yashika Solomon with Epilepsy Alliance Florida to help raise awareness about epilepsy in our community. Following the proclamation, we will invite you to share a few brief remarks.
I'm going to be very brief.
Okay, well, we're going to read the proclamation first. Commissioner Reninger.
Well, thank you very much. This is a proclamation for Epilepsy Awareness Month in Clay County. Whereas epilepsy is a neurological disorder that affects 1 in every 26 people at some point in their lives, regardless of age, race, or gender. And whereas more than 3.4 million Americans, including over 500,000 residents of Florida, are currently living with epilepsy. And whereas epilepsy is characterized by recurrent seizures, and its impact extends beyond the individual, affecting families, caregivers, and communities in profound and lasting ways. And whereas the challenges of living with epilepsy are significant, but support is available. Epilepsy Alliance Florida plays a vital role in offering critical services such as education, advocacy, medical support, and counseling to individuals and families affected by epilepsy. And whereas during National Epilepsy Awareness Month, Clay County proudly stands with communities across Florida and the United States to raise awareness, promote understanding, and eliminate the stigma surrounding epilepsy. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of County Commissioners, Clay County, Florida, does hereby proclaim November 2025 as Epilepsy Awareness Month in Clay County and encourages all citizens to join in supporting those affected by epilepsy and advancing public understanding of this condition. Duly adopted by the Board of County Commissioners, Clay County, Florida, this 28th day of October 2025. Do I have a motion? And I got a second? And 3 seconds. All those in favor say aye. Aye. It passed unanimously, and thank you very much for being here tonight. You have the honor of a few comments.
Thank you. On behalf of Epilepsy Alliance Florida, we just want to thank you, commissioners, for recognizing epilepsy awareness. As you stated, it affects 1 in 26 people. They will develop epilepsy in their lifetime, so your support helps us continue our education and empowerment among our community. So thank you so much.
Yes. Let's address this. Thank you so much. Here. All right, and we'll move into constitutional officers. If we know we have the sheriff here, do you have anything? All right, very good. And anyone else? We have Assistant Clerk Rick Dingle. No? Very good. All right, and then we'll move into approval of minutes.
Let me make a motion to approve the Board of County Commissioners meeting minutes from October 14th, 2025.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? All right, and that passes 4-0. Right, and we'll move into public comment. This portion of the agenda is designed to allow citizens an opportunity to bring matters to the attention of the board. At this time, the board will not engage in debate or answer questions. You may email askclay@claycountygov.com and staff will address your questions, or you may email your district commissioner. Public comment cards are conveniently placed at the meeting room entrance and should be submitted to the clerk on the far left of the dais. You are to limit your comments to 3 minutes. Before addressing the board, please state your name and address. Now I'd like to open the first public comment period at today's meeting. First, we have Patricia Jorgensen.
Hi, I'm Pat Jorgensen, and I have lived here in Clay County for over 45 years. I've raised my 3 kids as a single mom, and they've gone to your public high schools and schools. And I've always been so proud of being a Clay County resident. I retired just a year ago after working 51 years. And I thought, oh God, finally, I could go around and visit my family and take care of grandkids and put a new garden in, and I was so excited. And then I was flipping the channel on my TV, and I happened to hear a comment that was made by Stephen Miller in Washington, D.C., and he was standing with J.D. Vance. And the comment was something in regards to a protester who was, in their words, 90 years old, waving a flag, and that this gentleman need to go home and take a nap. I'm paraphrasing. Okay, I thought that's That is, okay, that's coming out of the White House. That's coming out of national. That has nothing to do with us here in Clay County. And then I heard something by our sheriff who said something about these old white people waving a flag in protest in Camp Blanding, and that they just needed to go home and take a nap. Well, I'm sorry, I'm not 5 years old. You're not my mama, and you're not going to tell me to go home and take a nap. I'm 70 years old. I'm retired. Do you know what I can do at 70 years old? I can go to my Democratic headquarters. I can say I can volunteer 5 days a week. I can go canvassing. I can make phone calls. I can write letters. I can do whatever you need me to do. And I can do it 5 days a week because I don't have to work anymore. That can be my job. I think you guys need to think about who are your constituents. A lot of them are older white people, you know, and you can't talk to us like that. I'm really disappointed. I thought you were better than that. And so I'm going to be spending my time, and you're going to be seeing me because I'm going to be coming to these meetings. I am going to be going to school board meetings.
Thank you, Ms. Jorgensen.
You're welcome.
All right, next we have Teresa Sanday.
Hi, my name's Teresa Sanday. Good afternoon, commissioners, elected officials. I've been up here a few times and I've read things from other words. And I think at the last meeting, I saw a big problem with 218 and turning lanes. And in that same meeting, we were discussing Cathedral Oaks Parkway. And it was $43.2 million to do that. We've got an issue. It took me 15 minutes to get out of Henley and Apalachicola today. We have traffic backed up everywhere. This isn't something you didn't know about. 10 years ago, I was on TV about that intersection at Henley and 220. But it takes 2 years to build a 5.2 mile road for $43.2 million. All of that money could have solved all of these traffic issues in Clay County. But we got a road to nowhere for a 70 million sale for the oligarchs. That's where we are in this country, and that's where we are in this county. So if you're worried about what our problem is, why you can't get turning lanes in 218, it's the same problem that's going on nationally. People with money think your taxes mean nothing. All of these people in Clay County pay taxes, and I can bet you the 30-some-odd years that I paid taxes in Clay County, combined with everybody else's taxes, were more taxes than that homeowner that sold that land for $70 million and got a $43.2 million road to go along with it. On top of that, we built $2 million to build that road in front of the water company to steal our water, take our water out of the ground, put it in plastic that at the same time got rid of our recycling. What's going on here? We could have fixed all of our traffic 10 years ago, but we spent $43.2 million to serve the oligarchs, and this is taxation without representation. And that is why this county is held up, and it's not just locally, it's nationally, and it's gonna get worse. And you guys, you're obsolete right now. I've seen your meetings. Any meetings you have on money, 2 months from now, it'll be taken away from you because you did the wrong thing. And you've done it now, and you're going to do it again. You have no control. This is all a waste of time. Have a good day.
Thank you, Ms. Sanday. Helena Cormier, are you speaking now, or, okay.
Hello, my name is Helena Cormier. My address is on file. I had wanted to speak on the first public comments for the number 9 that's in the consent agenda. It's the approval of the mobility fee credit. And, this is something that is kind of new and understanding for some of us. And when I was trying to read through the document and seeing the different amounts and the years and the dates and the percentages, and just if there was any way that y'all could pull this item and kind of explain it to the public and to help us understand, I would greatly love that. There's a lot going on in the county and with all of the different things, and trying to understand the verbiage, it can just get a little bit confusing, and just seeing where the developers are going to get the credit, but yet there may be a CDD, who actually builds the road, or, is it a bond? I'm just trying to really understand it. It's so hard. And so if there's any way that y'all could actually discuss and let us hear and understand, it would help us, at least help me. Thank you.
All right, we have our sheriff now.
Good evening, Commissioners. I'd like to go on record to absolutely 100% completely refute the statements that were attributed to me by the lady sitting behind me. I have built a 5-year reputation of working with everybody in this community. Anybody who wants to protest, we've gone above and beyond to make sure that they are safe and that their constitutional rights are guaranteed. And since somebody came up here earlier and attributed a statement to me that I've never said, I would just like to go on record saying that I've never said that. So thank you.
Thank you. All right, is there any other public comment at this time? All right, we will move on. Oh, sorry. Oh, yes, come on. All right, you'll be able to speak at number 18. Do you want to wait till then? Okay.
Yes, ma'am, that will be fine.
Okay, very good. All right, we will move on to consent agenda now. Do you have any items that want to be pulled?
I'd like to pull item number 7.
All right, number 7, anything else? I will pull number 9. All right, I'll take a motion for everything but 7 and 9.
Madam Chair, I move approval of the consent agenda minus items 7 and 9.
Second motion.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? All right, Commissioner Renninger, number 7.
Yeah, I pulled number 7. I want to understand exactly what we're contracting for. And the premise, the reason I'm pulling it is due to, I had 2 incidents where I had less than optimum interface with St. John's housing partnership, and I just want to make sure that we're not entering in a contract we're going to regret. So I guess if, Steve, if you could kind of explain what this, the conflict that I had was with the inspection requirements that St. John's Housing Partnership was responsible to perform.
Right, so this particular contract is for the SHIP program, and what these are is the evaluations that they do when they go out to the property, and they draw up the work order for the things that SHIP is going to repair. So for the inspection side of it, anything that's covered under the building code still requires a permit, still required the normal building code inspections that go on during the process. What they do with this contract is write up the work order and the things that SHIP's going to repair. And this particular company had this contract previously.
So what I spoke to is a different aspect of the housing partnership, different function than they did, to which I addressed, correct?
Yes, sir. What you're referring to is a different program, a different grant type program to do housing repair, and the issues that you spoke of are with this company acting as a contractor as opposed to someone writing up the inspection write-ups for SHIP.
And the
It's a different function.
Yeah, the specific conflict I had was, or I know about was, the housing partnership wasn't ordering the inspections that were required in, the in-process inspections. They waited till the whole job was done and then say, okay, come out and inspect it. And they had to redo a lot of the work just to see what, if you cover the plumbing up with drywall, you can't see it. So they had to remove some of the process to see to do the proper inspection anyway. So this is a different
Yes, sir.
issue.
Mhm.
So I guess I'm okay with it. But I'm watching. Is there anybody here from the Housing Partnership, St. John's? Okay.
All right, and number 9, if,
We gotta make a
I'm
motion.
sorry. Oh, okay.
I'd like to make a motion to approve item number 7.
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, and then number 9, Courtney, if you could just explain that for the people.
Sure. So this is a mobility fee credit agreement that is driven based on our mobility fee ordinance. Within the mobility fee ordinance, there are certain designated mobility fee improvements. This bypass is one of them. It's approximately 5 miles, and it is from 16 all the way to 17, and it's called the Green Cove Spring Bypass. In connection with this agreement, they have divided it up into 5 different segments. But as you're aware, the credits that are allocated are not given to them until they donate the right-of-way, then they would receive a portion. And then also, once construction is complete, they would then receive the credits. It's all attributed to the mileage that they do per each segment. It was mentioned about bonding. There is a provision in here that they can move forward and bond a particular section. And what that allows them to do is if they do that and they provide us a bond for the certain amount attributable to that section, they can go ahead and receive the credits. And so what that allows for them is that while the road's being built and their homes are being built within the area, they are able to use the credits alongside.
Okay, thank you so much.
I have a question. There's an escalation clause. What is the escalation clause?
So in the current mobility fee ordinance that we have, so each year it escalates. I don't know the exact percentages each year, but like one year, and it's based on a certain transportation CIP type document, and we keep track of it. It's posted on our website each year. And so because this was created 5 years ago, the amount has escalated from the amount that's in the agreement, and it's done through our impact fee coordinator each year.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, question for the attorney. So in short, the mobility fee credit is requiring the developer to build 5 miles of road.
Before they receive the credit, yes.
Correct. That
And
the
if they
county will
didn't-
not build, the developer will build.
Correct.
Thank you.
But the caveat is the bond though, right? So that if they do issue the bond to the county, then they get those credits and they're developing simultaneously.
That is an option that they have, is to do the bond in advance to build the road at the same time they build the homes. Mhm.
Okay.
And traditionally, I guess since I've been here, we've never had a developer give us a bond. They've always built the road and received the credits.
After the fact.
Mhm.
Okay, all right, thank you for the explanation. And I'll take a motion for number 9.
I'll move approval.
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And any opposed, say aye. All right, it passes 4-0. All right. And we will move on to discussion updates. We have the strategic plan quarterly update by Laura Christmas.
Good evening. All right, so good evening, Laura Christmas, Director of Communications. This evening, we're just going to do the strategic plan update for year 2, quarter 3, and you each have the update digitally and in hard copy. I'll go over just a few targets, provide an update on the strategic plan's future, and answer any questions that you all might have. Assistant County Manager Troy Nagel is also on hand to answer any questions regarding the strategic plan's next steps. And staff is on hand for any questions you might have regarding any of the various targets that are in the update. So we'll go ahead and get started. So the first target that we want to highlight is GG1.T1, which falls under good governance. In quarter 3, our social media content was viewed nearly 12 million times, and that's up from nearly 8 million in quarter 1. Our newsletter subscribers and our website users also continue to trend upward. Overall, this target continues to trend positively in 2025 as it did in 2024. Our next update that we wanted to provide is our good governance bold goal, which is up to nearly 49 million in 2024. And you can see where we, in 2025, and you can see where we are up from that number in 2024. And that is our bold goal for good governance. And that picture behind it is, of course, our Fire Station 20 opening ceremony. Our next update is CHS3.T5, which falls under Community Health and Safety. We ended quarter 3 having installed 197 AEDs in Narcan across the county. And of course, you can see the goal is to have 250 locations in 5 years. And our final update that we wanted to provide in this presentation is target IN1.T1, which falls under infrastructure. We've calculated more than 40,000 total riders so far in 2025. And you can see the baseline and last year's final numbers on the slide to show the data trend regarding the target. So looking ahead in the next steps, we plan to hold a workshop in November or December with the board to determine the next steps for the strategic plan as outlined in the plan's roadmap. And this will include refreshing or redetermining targets to align with the goals outlined in the strategic plan. And with that, we'll take any questions you might have.
All right, do I have any questions? Go ahead.
Madam Chair, question, and I don't know if it would be more so the strategic plan or just staff in general, but the new, Howard, you're gonna have to help remind me the name of our citizens reaction team. CIS, what does it stand for again?
Community or Citizen Information Service Center.
I guess I have a question on how many calls they've received and or action, kind of their percentage of work orders that they've, and I asked because I think it's worked really well.
Yeah, we can certainly get that for you.
Okay.
Yes, sir, Madam Chair, if I may, to comment on that. So every call that comes into that number is taken by the team, which we started obviously for the beginning of the year. And each call is logged in and tracked by the team for completion. And so it was a way to help out and get better response to the community with a particular issue, whatever that issue may be.
Yeah. And just for public visibility, you know that number, is it the number on the website? Just
The number's on the website. And go ahead, Troy. Main number.
Okay. 284-6300. Yeah. And I just want to commend the team, you know, Kyle and his team and Howard, your vision for this. I've had residents who've reached out to me and said, hey, I called this number and it was fast. There was follow up, you know, so good work on that. And let's keep that going for sure.
Yes, sir.
All right, anyone else?
Yeah, I have one through the chair. Laura, can you provide some details concerning the sidewalks and trails? I saw that for last year we did 6.68 miles. Is there, for one, can we get that delineated as far as sidewalks and trails? I don't know. I'm sure there was a reason why we brought them together, but the reason why I'm curious is because this 8.23 number, was there any modification made to the number of miles that we would look to complete concerning sidewalks, given some of the changes within the county, specific to a question that I had probably 8 months ago to staff about partnering with the school system, because Jacksonville had an initiative. I don't know if you remember this, County Manager. And they had this program where I think it was TPO. It was a presentation at TPO where the schools that needed sidewalks would partner with this nonprofit, and the counties got involved in that. They facilitated the conversation, and because of some changes that have happened recently that have kind of pulled in the county, I'm curious to know if there's been any modification to this aspect of the strategic plan.
I think I'm going to start, and then I'm going to kick to probably Eric Pope or Richard Smith for more detail. So we haven't adjusted the numbers in the strategic plan yet. We're planning on doing that as part of either the November, December workshop, when we look at all the numbers holistically and what the direction's going to be. The board did vote to change our methodology with CDBG money, so we're waiting for the federal government to reopen and approve our CDBG plan to shift the money from home repair to infrastructure, which means we'll be doing more sidewalks. Either Richard or Eric can talk to the sidewalk list that we're already doing in the current bid, and then what our plan is going forward next year. And then, of course, you do have the Safe Streets for All that's currently ongoing, which part of Safe Streets for All is to evaluate areas, and Beth would probably be the better one to talk to about that. Safe Streets for All kind of encompasses us looking at all the different issues, and that sets you up for future state funding or federal funding, because what comes out of that report allows you to file for other grants and other funding streams. I'm not aware of the group that you're talking about, but I'm sure if we can get some more information, we can take a look at it. The group that you're talking about that partners with the county.
From TPO.
Right, unless that was Safe Streets, and that could have been through the Safe Streets or.
You think it was? I don't know that it was.
So
But this was several months ago, so I would have to go back and look at whatever my notes were. But I thought we were looking further into that. And that's fine. I'm sure that you'll have an update for
And
me.
Megan's here also to talk about Safe Streets, so I think you've got the whole team to talk about sidewalks.
Good deal. Thank you.
Was it possibly the Safe Routes to Schools? Because I know the TPO has made an effort to come out and reach out to the counties to help partner with the program. That grant program is usually, it's 2 years out, I believe, for the, yeah. Megan could fill you in on those details, but that is something that Talia with the TPO has come out and talked with us.
Okay.
And one of our schools is going for a grant, I believe, in your district.
Okay. Oh, really?
Yes.
I did not know that. That's good to know. Megan, did you want to add anything? Okay, well then I have a question for you. When we talk about 2 years, I know, the more information you give, the more questions I have. But I'm curious, when you say that the program is 2 years out, does that mean you're saying we have to apply it for it? I think it was Troy that was saying it doesn't open until at some point. And then.
Yes, so county staff did meet with the TPO group who was offering to help with project planning services, and we've also talked to the school board. So I think our goal is to start getting a queue of projects on that list. So as funding becomes available, we can start getting a more steady pipeline of funding in through that. But I agree, there are lots of sources of funding for sidewalks right now. As you know, we've done a big pivot through our CDBG program to really focus on infrastructure and sidewalk connectivity. FDOT has funding opportunities every year for us, and as Troy mentioned, the Safe Streets for All program I think is going to open up some more significant federal dollars for us too.
Thank you. And do you know what school it was in District 2? Okay, that's fine.
We don't have that on hand, but
That's okay, that's okay. I'm just glad that all of this is news to me, and so I'm glad that there has been this movement to address, because it was more of a county infrastructure question all those months ago, and then things developed along the way that has given this import, so I appreciate the update. Thank you.
One other thing, Commissioner Cabrera, Richard Smith, County Engineer. We are beginning Thursday to have a pre-construction meeting to kick off Safe Street to School Sidewalk Project for Doctors Inlet Elementary School. That will be new sidewalks in the Greenwood neighborhood that connect to Doctors Inlet Elementary. That grant was initiated by the parents and the local school administrators in 2018. The construction begins next week.
Nice.
So that's one thing. TPO did grant us, and it's in the 2027 work plan, a $3 million grant that will connect the sidewalks along the east side of 17 that have gaps in them. That was approved, and when we say 2027, it's not as far as you think. Their year begins July 1st, 2026. So we're hoping that begins sooner and we'll connect that. The first CDBG project we have scheduled will be near Rideout Elementary, and it'll be a new sidewalk that'll connect Chief Rideout Trail to Apalachicola along Choctaw Trail. That has been bid out and is been secured. We're just waiting in for the funds to come through the federal government. So, and also every project that comes in of new commercial projects have to either build a sidewalk for their frontage or pay a $75 per linear foot fee for their frontage on any public road. We're collecting that robustly and hope to have we'll probably need some advice on where we want to prioritize that based on schools, based on, we used to look to see where it looked like the cows have been walking. That's where you can find out where you need a sidewalk. So 218 needs a sidewalk, for instance. Old Jennings Road needs a sidewalk. It's got a trail that people walk on. So that we're collecting presently for every commercial project that comes into the county.
Very nice. Thank you. Good deal.
If I may, through the chair, if the community wants to know anything about those sidewalk projects that Richard just mentioned, they're all on our website. So claycountygov.com/road projects. Everything's there. We update it weekly.
Madam Chair, if I may, real quick. So that's why, this is our first ever strategic plan. So, and these goals were set as the priorities of the community and the board that are here. So just by the mere fact that we track these numbers is on our list of daily, weekly, monthly activity that we go out to try to pursue those revenues and funds to fund those. I want to stress that none of the goals have been changed. We've left them. And some of them in here, as you've seen, we've already achieved them. And so that's why we wanted to get together in this workshop and kind of adjust these. And based upon current data, things have changed since the past 2 years on funding streams and priorities that we could set, like CDBG, and that's where we're going to have that discussion. And it may go from 20 to 100, right? As we look at that, to have that goal that we'd go after and realistically try to attain. But really, as we're here at this 2.5 year mark, this was a good time for us to have this workshop and then adjust these numbers that are there. And we may add another goal that's here. So I'd ask if the board sees something or if the community sees that there's something in the strategic plan that they would like to have as a goal that's in there, please let us know. And then we'd like to pursue that here for 2026 and then, make an amendment to this and make the strategic plan even better. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Anyone else? I have two comments. I regularly see people asking, where are we doing road work at? They don't see things happening. So as you heard, this is year 2, and our goal was to resurface 100 miles in 5 years, and we've already done 83.86. Thank you so much for all the road work. And it is being done. You might not see it, but it is. And then I have something positive from Ms. Sanday. I know you have been voicing about the sidewalk, and that is a wonderful thing, I know, for my district and Rideout Elementary, and I know you've been asking for that, and yeah, we are very excited for that. So, yeah, we do hear.
And the elderly will love it now that they've been able to walk and they won't lose it when the bridge comes.
Great, and we do hear you, so definitely. Very good, all right. So let's see, we will move on to new business right now. Number 13, bid number 2425-115, Fire Station number 24, Site Clearing Services, with Karen Smith.
Good afternoon. This item is related to Fire Station 24, the construction which is located at Sweat Road in Green Cove Springs. As you know, this project is partially funded with FEMA dollars, so part of that, FEMA requires an environmental assessment. So the assessment was done, and it was determined that there's the possibility of tricolored bats at this location. So we had to issue a bid to do site clearing before the construction. With this, there's a window of opportunity to do the tree removal, which is December 15th through February 15th. We received one bid, which was Connor Construction. We put out a base bid and then an alternate bid. They will do one or the other, not both. The first base bid would be if there's no turtles. If turtles on site have been relocated by a different contractor, then they can go in and do a more streamlined tree clearing. If the turtles are still in place, then they have a different means and method that they have to do, meaning some more silt fence, avoiding the borrow holes and things like that. So that would cost up to $60,000. So the max the project will cost under this contract would be $60,000. We hope only 44, but there's the possibility of 60. We had several contractors attend the pre-bid meeting that was on site, but we only received one bid, so that's why it's under new business.
Any questions?
Just as an aside, tricolored bats.
Yes, sir. That was a new
Never
one
heard
to
of 'em.
us.
Bats normally go in caves and mines. We don't have any caves, we don't have any mines. But these guys nest in Spanish moss and stuff, so weird. I've never heard of them.
So the good thing, there's no eastern indigo snakes on site,
Yeah,
because
that's
they
good.
also
That's a good thing.
look for those.
All right, any other questions or comments? I'll take a motion.
Move approval.
Second.
All right, a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And it passes 4-0. And permits, all right, and we will move right on to number 14 with Karen also, bid number 2425-111, security gate and car readers for the Clay County Jail.
So yes, ma'am, we received one bid on this also, Miller Electric. We were satisfied with their bid. They do a lot of our security work for us now, so we recommend awarding the bid to Miller.
All right, any questions or concerns, comments? No? All right, I'll take a motion.
I'll move approval of item 14.
Second motion.
All right, I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you.
4-0. Anybody have a joke? We got 1 minute. All right. Good work on the strategic plan, by the way, Laura. Got to tell you that. All right.
5 o'clock.
We have 5 o'clock. All right, so for number 17 and 18, if you're wanting to have any comments on it, you'll need to stand to be sworn in. Yep. Just come to the middle and raise your right hand.
Just waiting on the lady behind you, I'm sorry.
We're together.
Oh, okay.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you all.
All right, so number 17 is the final public hearing to consider Zone 25-0026. And this is in Commissioner Condon's district. This is our, the second hearing. And first, I would ask if there was any ex parte disclosures from any of the commissioners? Anyone?
I did not.
Okay, all right, Jenny?
Thank you, Chair. Yes, this is zoning ZON 25-0026, and you did hear this at your last meeting. And I'm happy to share the presentation again. I haven't changed it, but it's up to you.
You can just do a brief overview, I think, at least I would appreciate it. Yeah.
So this is administrative rezoning for 6 parcels of land along Carter Spencer Road that have an agriculture future land use and an agricultural zoning. And that requires 20 acres of land for somebody to build on it or improve their existing property. And so I had a gentleman come in who has a vacant piece on this stretch and want to build a home, and unfortunately, it's not a buildable lot because of the zoning. And so we determined with consultation with Commissioner Condon, this would be appropriate for administrative rezoning of all of these parcels so that they could be consistent with the parcels to the north that were already platted lots at that time. So these are the 6 lots. The one in the center, the center of the smile, that property owner opted out of this. Per Florida statutes, I sent out notice 30 days prior to the first hearing, the Planning Commission hearing, and they did opt out from this process. So that we removed them from the additional advertising. So it did go to the Middleburg Clay Hill Advisory, and they voted 9-0. Went to Planning Commission, and they voted 6-0 to approve. I recommend approval based on the criteria in the code and the consistency with the comprehensive plan. So I'm happy to answer any additional questions that you might have on this.
All right. Very good. All right, I'll open up the public hearing.
Colonel, I think you want to speak on the next one. No?
Number 18, I think.
Oh, okay.
Is that?
Yeah, this is number 17. Sorry about that.
Good, good. I'll wait.
All right, anybody else want to speak on number 17? All right, so seeing none, I'll take a motion.
Move approval.
Second motion.
All right, I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And all opposed. All right, passes 4-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, number 18, we have final public hearing to consider PUD 25-0006. And was there any other ex parte disclosures here?
Madam Chair, I spoke with 2 residents regarding this rezoning and also the developer representative.
Okay. Anyone else? All right, so we have Jenny again.
Yes, ma'am. Jenny Bryla, zoning chief. Here to represent PUD 25-0006. The applicant has assembled 10 parcels and 2 portions of parcels to create a 7.88 acre tract that would like to develop 26 detached single-family homes. So this would change the existing RE zoning district to PUD. This property is located on the north side of County Road 220 and in between Hutchinson Road, which is a dirt road, and Glen Laurel Drive, which is newly developed, I believe. The tract is bifurcated by Sioux Meadow Lane by another single-family residential development to the north. The future land use of the land is Urban Core 10, which allows for 10 units to a maximum of 10 units to the acre. And that is intended for higher densities with a maximum, as I said, of 10 units to the acre with points and clustering. This proposed development is going to be approximately 3.3 units to the acre. So here you can see the parcels that were aggregated and accumulated to create the 10 or the 7.88 acres On the left, you see the one AR parcel that was cut for a portion of the land, and then on the right, you can see the PUD lands that were, that will, moving forward, how it will look. So in conversations, the applicant did go to DRC and the Planning Commission, and based on those comments, they have reworked the site plan. And so, as you're aware, PUDs are required to provide something above and beyond the basic code. And this PUD is essentially putting all of the properties on water and sewer, which currently they're on well and septic. They're providing right-of-way dedication. They're improving Hutchinson Road to the point as it enters into this property. It's currently a one-way, or I think it's a 18-foot wide. It only accommodates one-way traffic. So it'll be a two-way, 60-foot code compliant right-of-way. It's incorporating stormwater systems, 50-foot wide lots, and a 60-foot building coverage, in addition to recreation on each pod there that you see. Again, the applicant is requesting a change from RE to AR and RE zoning to PUD to create 26 detached single-family homes. Staff did analyze the criteria in the code and found that it was consistent with the comprehensive plan. There is no Citizens Advisory Committee for this area of the county. However, it is, as I shared, consistent with the county's 2045 comp plan based on the findings in the report. In reviewing the proposed application for rezoning, the following criteria may be considered: whether the proposed change will be an isolated district, unrelated, or incompatible with adjacent nearby districts. And this application for rezoning that changes this into a more consistent based on the surrounding land use and zoning. Staff did find that it is consistent with the comprehensive plan and the criteria. So I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Anyone? What's the current zoning for it?
RE.
And what does that allow?
It allows for smaller properties. It's one of our tinier districts, but it's single family.
But how many houses per acre does it allow already?
I think it's pretty consistent with the 3, but let me confirm for you. RD. So 3 units to the acre. But with a UC 10, if they had the points, then they could elevate that intensity.
So why are they wanting to change it then?
To PUD, to get more coverage. The lot coverage in RE is only 30%, which is a very small lot coverage. When you consider Brandon Field and some of the other areas are much higher than that, in the 50s, 50% lot coverage, which is everything under roof. So that includes sheds, porches.
Okay, thank you.
Clarifying question, Madam Chair. So with RE, they could do 21 units if it's 3 per acre?
With RE, urban fringe.
7 acres.
Rural fringe. Right, I'm looking at, because it's UC 10, which allows for 10 units to the acre.
UC 10's the current land use? Okay.
Oh, there it is. So 6 units to the acre, sir.
Currently?
Yes, sir. With an RE UC 10 land use combination.
Madam Chair, the real benefit to the PUD is the sewer and water, in my opinion. That's a real benefit.
And the right-of-way, I would add
right
to
of
that as well.
So just so the public understands, they can build no matter what. I mean, they could build 3 to an acre, doesn't matter.
They could build
with what they have.
6.
Six to an acre,
Six
yeah.
as it is. So Commissioner Renninger, you bring up a good point. Ms. Bryla, that's a question I have. So if they don't go to, if they don't go to PUE, they cannot get sewer and water under RE?
They can.
They can, okay.
They would just
So I
have
guess
to,
what was your point?
they have to bear the cost to bring it in.
It's really expensive.
They're developing a PUD, and you have to go above and beyond what the requirement is. They don't have to get sewer and water now, but with the PUD, they get better cover, they can cover more of the acreage with, housing, but they have.
The developer pays for the sewer and water.
Yeah, they pay
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah.
The hookup. So it currently has some mobile homes on it right now,
Yes, sir.
and they're all well and septic, so.
Correct.
You're gonna clean up that whole piece of, that 7.88 acres.
And if I'm not mistaken, please correct me if I'm wrong, Jenny, for all of these families who are still on septic and well systems, those systems are aging out. And as I understand it, it's $20K per septic tank that needs to replace current dollars. Is that right?
I'm not aware of the cost to replace the septic system. I just know we're not allowing if there's sewer in proximity, we're not allowing them to do wells and septic anymore, that they have to hook up to the sewer system.
I think it just was, for your edification, Commissioner Scarmelo, it's statutory
Yeah.
that it's roughly $25,000 to replace those.
But if these failed, they would have to hook up anyway, because they already have water close by, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
They wouldn't even be able to have the chance to go even to the septic. Okay. All right, anyone else? All right, so we'll open up the public hearing. We have Colonel Davis.
At last. My name is Colonel Webster Davis, Jr. Joyce and I, we live at 1466 Hutchinson Road, Middleburg, 32068. We are concerned with that portion of the rezoning that is west. You got 2 parcels. We're concerned with, and they're looking at the picture, the one on the left that actually touches Hutchinson Road. And we're really concerned about several things. Number one, the entrance. The proposal, it looks like a kind of a fork or a Y. As you enter, immediately, there's a proposed road going to the 13 houses that's to be built there. And the rest of the road is not a dirt road, as it says on the paperwork here. It's 6 inches of milling hardened. They've done a nice job for it. Is one way. We do have little pull-out areas where if a car is coming out, and a car starts in, the start-in car pulls off to the right and lets the outgoing car pass. That's a courtesy thing we've always observed. But the traffic situation there, particularly going ahead in the mornings and in the evenings, we feel like is really going to pose a problem with the people coming home, particularly in the afternoon, coming home, heading west on 220 and wanting to turn in, and then immediately turning right into the new driveway, so to speak, new street, and our old road down where we live. We're the 3rd house down on the left as you go into the road. And these houses, seems like to us, is an awful lot of homes in a relatively small area. The traffic situation of their leaving in the mornings and coming home in the afternoons, we really believe is going to pose a problem down the road. And I think if there's any way in the world we can change that to make it more convenient for both we who live there and the new people, now's the time to think about it. We're also somewhat concerned about the type of homes that are going there. The building site shows some awfully small lots, which will generate, of course, small houses. And we're wondering if the houses are going to be deed-owned and lived-in homes or rental homes. We want to emphasize that we've got nothing against rental homes, but that many homes in such a concise area, we're going to have a problem not only with the traffic, but other things like garbage collection and the way the people have to get out of Hutchinson Road also. Because to get out, we have to turn right to go west, and of course we want to go east, we turn left. And turning left is already a problem for those of us in.
You can finish up.
It's a big problem, and we feel like we're being smothered, and we really need to think about this. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Harold Davis. All right, now next I have Kay McBride.
My name is Kay McBride. I live at 1470 Hutchison Road.
Pull your microphone to your mouth. The microphone, yeah, so we can hear you.
All right, Kay McBride. I live at 1470 Hutchison Road. That's the corner of Hutchison and 220 in Middleburg, Florida. The concern we have is this property. There have been a building boom all of a sudden in that property and beyond. On 220, there is a subdivision in the making already with 80 houses going up that I have been told. And the road would come out to 220. And there's also a subdivision right next to that, Glen Laurel, would also come out to 220. With these two new parcels that are being wanted to be built, they plan on another exit to 220, and then the one in question is the one on Hutchison Road, which would come out to Hutchison, and then they would turn on to 220. There's also a 200 land subdivision across the street, which comes on 220, and it is beginning to be hard to even get out now. And the backup between 220 down on Nightbox Road, and they're building a bridge down there. But it is, the backup has always been down by my street, to Hutchison and beyond at different times. These are some old pictures that I have of the street way back. I was concerned about the water flow when they developed these things, because I know it's saying it's a dirt road, and they did gravel it lately, which is good. But the water system, there's a ditch, And if you have other things, there's not even a culvert right there where they want to build these houses and they come out. So I don't know where they're planning on coming out on this land to Hutchison Road. And it's just hard to fathom that all these houses will be there. I mean, I've lived there 30 years. I have maybe an acre and a half, and I've seen a lot of changes, but the water system does create a problem at times. Thank you.
Ms. McBride, real quick question about your photos. Were those from Hurricane Irma?
Yes,
Okay,
that's.
thank you.
I took those a long time ago, not any recent.
All right, anyone else?
The app,
Is the applicant?
yes, ma'am.
Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Travis Simpson. I'm the applicant. The seller, actually, Mr. and Mrs. Bray. Mr. Bray was going to come tonight. He fell under the weather. He called me like a few hours ago, and I was like, okay. But I just wanted to clarify a couple things. So he actually lives down Hutchinson as well. And he's got family down that road. And granted, he's gonna, sell the property, make a profit, right? But he doesn't have any concern about any traffic. And the main reason is because this neighborhood's not gonna go past a certain point down Hutchinson. It's the cars have no valid reason to go past that neighborhood because there's no other exit or entry down Hutchinson. They're just gonna turn around and have to come right back out. So I don't think there's going to be any traffic in front of the neighbors' houses. Exit and entry, we're talking 13 homes. Obviously, not everybody's going to be coming and going at the same time. That's not realistic. Could there be a couple extra cars every now and then? Potentially, for sure. But I think you can also maybe argue that the new exit entry we're going to be creating is going to make it safer. Instead of having a barely two-way at the very beginning and then a one lane, you're going to have a good depth of solid two-lane, car traffic there. So I think you could even make that argument that it could make it safer for the current residents getting in and out because of that. If there's other questions, we did consider some other options, just as an FYI. We did consider coming in off of Sioux Meadow Lane. I called Pulte. They were not open to that. Would it take some effort on their part? They own the land right next to it. That was the initial option, actually, was to come off of there. And so this is kind of really the only one that's feasible at this point on that west parcel. And to Jenny's point, the current zoning, the lot coverage is just it limits the product. The type of house and how much square footage, it would be very limited. You'd have much smaller product than you would be able to do if, through this PUD. So.
Could you address the drainage issue that they were concerned about, as well as what type homes, if you'll be doing rentals, or if you know that?
Sure. Drainage, that's going to be worked out with the county and the engineer. I mean, we're not going to create something. I mean, we've already talked to the county through DRC that there's I believe somebody who lives on Glen Laurel Drive that's having some water issues from that new Pulte development. And we're going to have to address where some water goes onto that east parcel. So, I mean, we're through engineering, through the development, and there's going to be accommodations. What that exactly looks like, I can't tell you right now. As far as the type of homes, to be honest, it's not 100% at this point. It's unclear. It's going to be, I'm the developer, I'm not the builder. So it's going to end up being whoever takes on those finished lots. It could go either way, but contrary to popular belief on some of this, even with rentals, they really don't. If you read up articles, they don't lower property value like people think they do. There's, you feel like maybe there's a little more ownership, if someone owns it, but It's not as much of a detriment as people sometimes think. There will be nice homes, I can tell you that. But exactly what that's going to look like, I don't know for sure at this point. So, yeah.
Madam Chair, I have some clarifying questions. Couple things. Hutchinson Road, is that a public road or is that a private road?
It's private. Yeah. And that's part of the PUD is the right-of-way dedication to the county. So,
And you said that the landowner is a resident on Hutchinson Road.
yep. He lives down on the right. He's got other family right on the right side there. Down that west parcel. So,
The improvement to the west parcel, how deep will the two-lane entryway into the new road essentially, how deep does that go? How deep will that go?
I don't know offhand. Does it have it on the site plan at all? Do we have any numbers on there? Okay.
When you look, so it'll go past the intersection into the development. How
Right.
far that taper will be determined probably by the county engineer as we go through DRC with it.
And we do have a survey, but I don't know what that number is. I'd have to look at it. So.
The applicant has been advised that that entire parcel up to the northern property line will be developed with a two-lane, 24-foot wide sidewalk on both sides, 60-foot right-of-way. And it will be dedicated to the county and maintained.
So essentially, Richard, what that would be, it'd be a public portion going into the 13 homes, but then that private road would remain
Correct.
private.
And that private road is prescriptive. That was milled by the county this past year. So Public Works Department did that, and we have control of the part we touch. Now, if the residents behind there to choose to say, we want that to be private, they could gate it at that property line. But this portion, that portion through the first parcel must be improved to county standards. So, as it would on any project that went on a unimproved road.
On the site map, the two large kind of circular areas, is that stormwater or is that the recreation piece?
Are you speaking of in the white on the map?
It looks like it's green. I can't read it out. It's all jumbled.
So there's stormwater ponds that are gonna be
Okay,
required.
those are,
And then
that was my next question.
he has enlarged cul-de-sacs to accommodate fire rescue.
Got it. So they will be, building two stormwater ponds.
Yes, sir. And then they have recreation adjacent to the stormwater ponds.
Ah, gotcha. Travis, would that be like a park?
Yes, sir. Yeah, so we're doing Pocket Park. We've got playgrounds. On the east side parcel, we're doing a walkway around the pond. And these are all above what would be required generally. And then I think a picnic table, a bike rack. That's the gist of it. And the only other thing I would point out is, with the future land use, I mean, we could have came in here today with townhomes. We could have came in with 2 to 2.5 times the units that we're proposing. So I don't think it's too unreasonable, based on what's adjacent with the Pulte development and across the 220 from Angora Bay. This really kind of fits in with all that. I think in that regard, it's pretty reasonable.
That's all the questions I have right now.
Anyone else? Any questions? Thank you.
All right, thanks.
I would like to say to Colonel Davis and Ms. McBride, your families, I get it. Trust me, this is happening in my district everywhere, okay? And I know in Clay County, we have people moving here daily. We have developments coming up. And unfortunately, when a landowner sells to a developer, that's what they do. And, I always tell my people, like, I'd like to be able to buy up all this land myself so it didn't happen, but, we can't do that. And just like he said, they could put 6 units on per acre. We're kind of stuck because that is what it allows already, that they can put this here already. So, sounds like, they have to make sure the drainage is correct. They have to you know, the wording is you're not allowed to put water on property that isn't already been there. And hopefully it will actually help your drainage. From those pictures I saw, you know, they're gonna have to put culverts in, they're gonna have to do all that. So I understand your concern. I definitely, I mean, it'd be nice to not have it, but, that it's, the property has sold, you know? So, but I just want to let you know, I understand. I have, on my road, 99 homes can come in at, right now, and we can't do anything about it. And we have one way in and one way out. So, it's happening everywhere, and, I truly understand your concern and frustration with it. Just wanted to say that. And, with that, I'll take a motion if we don't have any other discussion.
I just like to add a few things that, you know, doing this is a very delicate balance. And, as the developer mentioned, you know, I think I really appreciate the fact that you, did your due diligence in trying to tie into the Glen Laurel, area or the current existing neighborhood there. Cause that would have been optimal. I think that changes this considerably. But with that being said, I think the improvements to the entryway help, the stormwater infrastructure helps, the tying into sewer helps. And one thing I think that I've heard from a lot of people, especially in my generation, is finding housing that can become somewhat affordable, you know, for people that graduate college and would like to buy a smaller home like this. There's not a whole bunch of these in Clay County. So it's for me, it's a tough one, but I think this one checks enough boxes to move approval. So I'm going to make a motion to move approval.
And by the way, I didn't close public hearing.
I'm sorry.
All right, I have a motion to approve.
Second motion.
All right, I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, and it is, passes 4-0. All right, we'll move on to number 19, final public hearing to amend ordinance 2024-48, amendment to ordinance 2024-48 will create Division 6, Forest and Farms Conservation Lands Program Trust Fund, which defines the collection, handling, and use of funds for the purposes of the Forest and Farms Conservation Lands Program.
Good evening.
And we have Dodie.
Yes, Dodie Selig, Chief Planner. You really summed it up there. This is fairly straightforward and fairly short. We have adopted now the Forest and Farms program. We now need to put some language into our code that addresses receiving funds and handling those, and how we do that. So that's really the purpose of this.
All right.
Do you have any other questions?
Any questions? Anyone? All right, I will take a motion. Public hearing? Opening public hearing. Anyone like to speak?
So, my name is Helena Cormier, and I put this one on my card. Thank you again for just everything that y'all are doing and just helping us be able to understand all the things that are going on. When I was reading through this one, you know, obviously we see that this is, it seems like I'm assuming that this was part of the percentage, you know, the money that the voters had approved on doing for conservation. And we're grateful for that. And just keeping in mind the being good stewards of this money and when it's being spent and when it's being done is so important, especially if we ever have to go to the voters again on other things for them to vote on and approve to put funding in. I wish I didn't read in there about the stuff with stewardships and the stewardship districts, but you know, it is in there. I do hope that we don't continue to have those, but I thank you for everything that y'all are doing, and there truly is a lot going on with this, the verbiage in there, and reading it and trying to understand is important to me and to other people too, so thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Cormier. Anyone else? All right, I'll close the public hearing, bring it back to the board, and take a motion.
I'll move approval.
Second motion.
All right, I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And passes 4-0. All right, and we will go back to number 15, request for prospective buyer lien reduction for Bilson Garage. Hopefully that was right. I don't think it was. And Sharice is not here. Steve is going to be presenting.
Good evening. Who do we want to start with? Okay, this property is at 5207 Sweat Road. The violations, non-permitted structures to include numerous mobile homes. There is an accruing fine in the amount of $25 a day, began August 16, 2024. As of today, the fine totals $10,775, but will continue to accrue until the violation is corrected. The staff cost is roughly $1,620 at this point. The prospective buyer plans to tremendously enhance the property if the lien is reduced, which would allow him to purchase the property with a clear title. He plans to build a custom single-family home for his family. Prospective buyers are requesting the lien be reduced to $500. The purchase price of the property is $100,000. The 23 and 2024 taxes have not been paid. One of the additional terms and conditions of purchase and sale agreement is that the seller's net proceeds take care of the property taxes for 2023, 2024, 2025. The 2023 taxes are $661.46. The 2024 is $652.25. The current property owner, Mr. Mayo, owns 7 properties. Of the 7, 3 of those properties have code enforcement liens, with 1 being this particular property. If the lien reduction is approved by the board, and once all stipulations are met and the lien reduced amount is paid, a release of lien will be issued to release the lien for this case and release a lien on the property, on this property only. The 2 additional liens against Mr. Mayo will remain in effect and continue to accrue until the violations on each property are corrected.
I have a question. Is the current owner here?
The current
Owner?
No, sir. I don't believe so.
Has the current owner done anything to improve this property since the code enforcement action has been taken?
No, sir.
How about the other 2 properties?
No, sir.
So he's been negligent in doing anything to correct the problems on the 3 properties he owns?
It appears that way, yes, sir.
Are you are you trying to buy the property?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Commissioner Ranger, I mean, I'm on board with you. I don't understand how we're supposed to let someone off the hook with a lien when you've got 2 other ones summing $140,000, and you're gonna profit off the sale of a property with a lien. I don't, doesn't make sense to me.
Makes no sense to me.
This
This is our opportunity, if the sale goes through, to recover that lien on this property. Is that correct?
Correct, yes, sir.
Instead of kicking the can down the road, just like the current owner is doing right now.
Yes, sir.
This is the $12,000,
$10,775.
The total lien as of October 28 is $12,670.
Yeah.
12,000.
12,000.
But that, just to be clear, that includes the staff cost. That's why it's the 12,000 over the 10,000.
Okay, so the lien's 10,000 plus staff costs.
I see it now.
Which,
Do you think you could come up with some sort of sale agreement where the portion of the sale price, $12,670, would come back to the county and then you get the property?
So just to give you guys like a little bit of a background,
based on my conversations with the current owner and, I live in Mandarin currently, but I work in Green Cove, so, the commute is like 30, 40 minutes each way depending on traffic, and, I've been, looking for 1 or 2 acres, for the past year or so. My dad and my uncle, they own a piece of property on Sweat Road, towards the end, and that's how I saw this, land, and it wasn't for sale, it was vacant, and, a buddy of mine happened to know him, and I said, "Hey, do you happen to have his contact information?" So I reached out to him, and I had no idea there was any liens or nothing of that nature. So obviously, I saw the mobile homes, but I had reached out to him, and I said, "Hey, I'm interested. Will you be willing to sell?" Got back to me the next day and said, "Yeah, we agreed on the price of $100,000." And he did admit to me up front. He's like, "Hey, man, I found out recently that there's a lien on this property." He said, "I haven't been getting the notices because they haven't been going to where I reside. I guess he has a property where he wants all of the notices to go there, so that was his excuse. But I don't know the truth behind that. This is what he told me. So I said, look, he told me that he goes to Alabama frequently because his mom is, I don't know if she has cancer. She's been very sick recently. I don't know the exact details, but he said he's there frequently. And that's been one of the reasons why he's, fallen back on paying the property taxes. And he just had a difficult 2 years, he told me. So I said, look, let me get with my lawyer. Let me verify that obviously you have this lien. Let me see if there's any other liens or whatever other things that can come up. In the meantime, I said, look, let me pay you a binder. Let's do a contract. And then we'll see what comes up. So my lawyer came back and said that, hey, besides the code enforcement on this property, there's 2 other properties that he has code enforcement. So there's cross liens on this property. I told him about that. He obviously he said, "Oh, well, I didn't know about those either, man. I didn't get the notices." So I said, "Look, Derek, I will go to the county. I'll speak to the code enforcement department. Let me see what's going on." I said, "What I can do personally, I can do my best to help you." I said, "I'm willing to offer you this. Since you are having financial hardships, I don't mind fronting the money, meaning if you're able to clear this property, meaning take the mobile homes out of there, make the property nice, make it look good, I will pay whatever fees need to be paid, pay the taxes up front, take care of all that. Obviously," I said, "I'll deduct that from the purchase price. But I have to talk to code enforcement because now not only does this property have a lien, there's cross liens." So I said, the only way I can do that is if the county says that if you clear this property, get it to code, we can free this property up so you can purchase it free and clear. And then he was telling me that if I'm able to sell this property and get this money, then that will help me out to start working on the other 2 properties, because that, one of the main reasons why he hasn't been able to make the adjustments is because of financial issues. This is what he's telling me. So I went, spoke to Heather, communicated with her back and forth. I said, "Hey, are you guys able to do this? Do you have the authority?" She said, "No, the only people that have the authority to pretty much take the cross liens away, you have to go in front of the board, discuss with them. And if they say, hey, clear this property up, we'll clear all the other liens, and you can buy this property free and clear," they're the only ones that have the authority. We don't have the authority. Because I was under the assumption that it's only this property. I could have helped them out, did whatever I can, and then the lien's gone. But then there's liens on other properties so as we stand, the only way I can purchase it is if all 3 properties are free and clear.
Courtney,
Of
is that,
No, that's not true.
No. The board has the authority to remove whatever liens they'd like from this property.
right?
You don't have to clear up the other 2.
Maybe I misunderstood, because my attorney said that because he has 3 properties and he has liens on each one, pretty much there's cross liens on each property. So I don't know if.
True.
Yeah.
That's true, that
That's
all,
true,
yeah.
Courtney,
all
can
of
you
the liens
explain
are-
the cross liens, how that works?
Right, so the other properties that have the liens, what happened is they attach to the property that rendered the violation, but then they also attach to any other property that's owned by that property owner.
Ah,
So he owns, so I think he owns 7 properties or 6 properties? 7. So all of the properties have all 3 liens. So for
So
this
if he goes to
property,
sell any of the 7, this comes up.
right.
Yeah.
So for this particular property, I believe what he's asking is a resolution for the lien that is tied specifically to this property and then to release only this property from the other 2 liens.
Correct. Yeah. Which we have the authority to do, right?
Yes.
But he would still have the other 2 liens.
Correct.
Yeah.
So,
Go ahead, sorry.
Pretty much what, you know, what I, because my point of contact was Heather at Code Enforcement, and then I spoke to Mr. Mayo, is what I'm willing to do in this situation is obviously, you know, with Code Enforcement, their number one priority is to clear these things up, so they don't have to deal with these, you know, things lasting forever and ever and ever. So, I can't vouch for all the other properties, but I can do, you know, everything in my ability, because I want to buy the property, to help them at least get this one free and clear. I told them, look, Derek, if you get the mobile homes out of there, I will pay, you know. Also, there was another thing that Heather told me, there's an amnesty program that, if a property has code enforcement violations and there's, let's say $10,000 in fees, if you clear that property and get it to code, you can file an application for an amnesty program, and then those liens will come to like a minimum of $1,200. And I don't know how accurate that is. That's what they told me. So potentially, if he takes care of get those mobile homes out of there and is up to code, he wouldn't have to pay that $10,000 or $12,000. I don't know where it is, because every day it's occurring $25. All he would have to pay is potentially $1,200, and then the property would be free and clear, including the property taxes that he's.
But that's not true as of now, because all 3 are connected. So if we're just releasing this one only, it doesn't mean he's getting amnesty from the other 2.
No, amnesty on just on this, I believe, just on this property, because you have to
He
do.
can't have his cake and eat it too. He
No,
can't- you know what I'm saying? He can't have amnesty on just this one and then, no.
Right, I'm not sure, he would have to apply for it, and it would have to go through the process, and he would have to clean them up. I mean,
Maybe I'm not stating correct. I think what Heather told me is the amnesty program, would you have to do like a property by property application? So in other words, let's say you have 7 properties and all 7 have liens on them. And if you wanted to clear up one at a time, to get approved for that amnesty, would you have to do one application for all 7, or one application per property that you have?
well, at this point, his property has 3 liens on it because
Right.
they all attach.
Okay. Well,
But I think to be clear, my understanding of your purchase and sale agreement is whatever the amount is that the board determines, that just comes off
that's
of
gonna
his
be
purchase
deducted.
and
Correct,
sale.
correct,
Right.
correct.
So if the board moves forward with the $12,678, you get the property, assuming it gets cleaned up, right?
Correct.
They don't release the lien until it's clean.
Correct.
So it has to come into compliance in an X period of days, so there's a set number of days. If it's cleaned within that period of time, then the lien would be reduced. You know, you'd pay the $12,670 and it would come off.
Correct.
All right, so this is my district, and thank you for coming. You have to come and do the dirty work, and this aggravates me whenever the owner doesn't come and, you know, doesn't have to face us, but we see this all the time, and they always say they didn't get the mail. Okay, again, it's not your fault. But I am definitely not in favor of him getting off the hook for the 12,000. He still has 2 other properties. I have probably the biggest heart of anybody in here. I'm just kidding. But I have a big heart, and I understand, medical issues and financial issues, all that. He has 7 other properties that he could sell. I mean, so, there goes your financial issues. So I think, you're gonna come out good either way, it sounds like, and so that's wonderful. You're gonna have a property. The mobile homes, my interest would be to get those out of there, so I'm glad he's gonna do that at least. and the neighbors can then, you know, have, better looking property, and then you have a property to have a house on also. So, if it's, I would think it's fair if I would ask for a motion, for the 12,000 to stay on and the other properties be released, and then the 12,000 would come off of your, buying price, purchase price.
Madam Chair, did you say the other properties would be released?
The other properties would have to be released for him to be able to have this property. If they don't release it,
I
then he has
think
the
what she means
154.
is that the liens would be released just from this property, but
property,
the
correct.
liens would stay in effect as to the other 6.
Correct. Okay.
I have one question, and you may not know the answer. The property owner is claiming he's gonna move the trailers?
So he has no choice, but because the code enforcement on this property is because of the mobile homes.
Right, I understand,
on
it, but
there,
he's
so-
gonna move them?
Yeah, yeah, so
Did he
he's.
discuss where he's gonna move those trailers?
I don't know, so based on, he's into, I think,
Because
I,
he has 7 other properties.
I think his line of work, he's in, he does, like junk removal and stuff like
Yeah.
that, and he's in the mobile home world or has
Oh,
connects.
yeah.
So I honest to God, I really don't know.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah, the
Like
only
I
thing I
said.
told him, because, he's like, man, right now I have financial issues. I said, look, I'm willing to front the money for you. I'll deduct it. But, and then I don't want to come here and vouch for him because I have no idea if it goes through, if he'll take that money and then do what's right, which is clear the other properties, and use that money wisely. But that's what he told me, and I'm just kind of relaying the message. I have no idea, but he's claiming that one of the main reasons why he's fallen behind is because, he's frequently in Alabama taking care of his mom. He's had work issues, money issues, and that's why it's kind of gone downhill for him, so.
Yes, Courtney.
But what I just want to make sure that you understand is that you would be required to pay the lien amount, the 12,000, right? Instead of, it would be deducted from your purchase and sale amount.
Right.
And you or whoever would be required to bring the property into compliance. So if he fails to do it, then you would need to do it in order to have the lien reduced.
Yeah.
So, the inner workings of that, this is my first rodeo, so I apologize. I mean, I've never
You're
done
doing
anything.
great.
Yeah,
You're
no,
doing great.
you're doing the right
Yeah,
thing.
so, I really don't know the inner workings. What I'm trying to do is, I'm doing everything I can to, obviously, I want to purchase a property, but I would have to see, hey, what would I be responsible for? Because right now it's under his name, for example, right? It's his property. The liens are under his name, so,
But
if you
if
guys.
you purchased it, the lien will remain on the property and then you'll be responsible for it. And it will continue accruing until,
If I
it's brought
purchase it
into
with the,
compliance.
with the liens,
Yeah.
what you're saying.
right, so then you'll take on that lien and it'll continue at $25 a day until you.
The plan is not to close on the property
Okay.
until he,
Yeah.
yeah, cause I would
That's what I would say.
never close on the property with, and me having to take on all this, because
All right,
what am I
all right.
gonna do with 4 mobile homes?
So he needs
Yeah.
to take off the mobile homes, then you pay that
Exactly,
money.
so the plan is, I said, if the county green lights it, you take those mobile homes out, sell them, do whatever you need to do with them. There's like a bunch of overgrown grass, there's a couple other things, but the mobile homes is the main issue. Obviously, you'd have to mow the whole property, it would have to, look nice. Then code enforcement would come, inspect it, they would say, okay, this property's good to go. Now, all you have to do is pay the fine, pay the property taxes, and you're good to go.
There you
Then I would close on the property.
And how long of a period of time are you looking for?
To be honest with you, based on what he's saying, and I think within 2 months it should be doable. It should be quicker than that because he's claiming since he's in that world, he should be able to move because somehow they got there, right? So however he got him there, he should be able to. I'm sure he didn't, bring him there with a trailer. So he's claiming he could be able to move him pretty quick, and once those trailers are out of there, it's pretty much a done deal. All you have to do is cut the grass and have, code enforcement come inspect it, and it would be good to go, so, I think it could be done quick, but if we could get like 60 days just to be sure, because sometimes it's very difficult to get a hold of him. I'll call him one day and he's like, "Hey man, I'm in Alabama." I said, "Well, you told me you're gonna be in Florida." So, he throws those curveballs at me, so.
Okay. So 60 days would have to be added to the motion.
Let me try to clarify something for you.
I'm trying to be as honest as I can.
No, just listen to me. If you don't close on the property until it's cleared, no money transfers. Okay? So somehow he's gonna have to come up with money to move those trailers, which he hasn't been able to do in the year that it's been under code violation.
I think.
Unless you're gonna stroke a check to him under the table, he doesn't, I don't think he has the money to do it. He needs this money. So what I'm saying is you don't have the property until you pay for it.
Correct.
And he's not gonna move the trailers until he has the money. So somehow you're gonna take possession of the property, give him the money with the trailers on it. And if he doesn't move the trailers, they're yours.
I think the trailer thing, because like I said, he's into the automotive world, and he has the means to move. That's what he's told about. I don't think he would hire like an outside moving company to move them.
But why hasn't he moved them?
I don't know.
I'm trying to help you out here.
No, I agree 100%. I think he probably put them there just to park them there to resell them, or I really don't know what his intentions are with the mobile homes. I have no idea. And I told him, I said, "Derek, the only way I would move forward is if the county says, if this property gets cleared and those mobile homes are out of there, then we can release all the liens only on this property." Because I said, I can't agree to purchase the property once you clear all your 7 properties. I'm like, come on, that's not realistic. So that's kind of where I'm at with this property. I know it's
I'll make a motion to deny the request. I mean, if we push this lien to another property, which he hasn't paid, I mean, we're part of the problem.
But we are getting one cleared, if he actually does.
For the sake of discussion, I'll second your motion. So one thing that I'd want, just kind of summation of everything. So like Commissioner Burke just said, I think that's at least in my opinion, I think our code enforcement department does a really good job trying to get folks in compliance, giving them tangible action steps to make it right? The big thing for me on this is that, one of these is $109,000 that's been imposed in 2019 for $50 a day. I don't have much faith that many of these are going to get in compliance. I appreciate you trying to purchase the property and make it nice and become a member of our community. I think Commissioner Renninger makes a lot of really good points. That's something you're gonna have to decide on the risk of the landowner getting into compliance to make it happen. But Commissioner Renninger also made a good point. That's gotta happen first.
Yeah.
It does.
Which it hasn't.
Correct. Yeah. And I guess.
It would have to, it would have to come to compliance before this happened.
Right.
Under our agreement.
Right. But I guess what I'm getting at is, that doesn't involve us. He gets it into compliance, and then does a real estate sale, and that's it. I don't really know at that point what we're actually approving. I'm not willing to reduce the lien, I guess is my point.
Well, and then an interesting thing that popped up too is remember the fines accrue every day, and so the longer period of time he has to remove the mobile homes, this $25, so they're giving you that grace based on your motion. But in the way that the agreement traditionally works for these type of requests is that if you give a certain period of time to bring the property into compliance, if it isn't brought into compliance within that time period, then nothing happens. If it is brought into compliance, then code enforcement goes out, approves it, and then depending on the amount, so in this case, the $12,000, then he has to, within 10 days, pay the $12,670. And then at that point in time, once that check clears, a release would be entered just for this property for the 3 liens.
So, Courtney, one question that I have, could we make an agreement where we say for the next 60 days, we are not going to continue the fines to allow the property owner to clean it up? If they don't clean it up, but because of this, because you're offering to buy the property, if they don't clean it up, we retroactively charge them those 60 days worth of fines, and we're back to square one.
That's automatic.
So,
So
okay,
you would
so we
just-
could
right.
do that.
That's just automatic. So what happens if it doesn't get cleaned up, then he doesn't get any benefit.
I think for me, that's us offering a good faith for you to sell it and get in compliance.
Well, now, wait, you asked, can we hold the lien, the continuance of the lien, the
Fine.
charge per daily, the daily charge in abeyance?
You can just set whatever amount. So, yeah, don't really just tie it to that lien amount. You can say, hey, I want you to pay $20,000. Hey, I want you to pay $10,000. You just set an amount, and that's the amount that basically they're paying or settling to have the lien released if they clean it up.
I think just to simplify this, so the board or the county really, nothing really, so even if you guys green light this, for example, right? And I call him on the phone, and I'm like, hey, man, the county said, yes, clear this thing up, you can buy it. If he doesn't do it, nothing changes, the lien still stays on. So the only thing that I'm really requesting is if you guys give me permission to get this thing cleared up, get him to clear this up, and if it does get cleared up, will you guys allow me to buy it free and clear? And then the positive is out of the 3 properties that have liens, this one then will be free and clear. So the neighbors don't have to have a property with mobile homes or worry about a property being under code enforcement.
So the tough part for me is he owes $140,000. So to just buy it free and clear without the $12,000 that he owes the county, I wouldn't be in favor.
No.
He's doing the 12,000.
No, yeah, you can't, so if the code enforcement, so if it comes under compliance,
right,
then he has to pay. So compliance means get those mobile homes out of there, mow the grass. Code enforcement would come out and say, okay, now the mobile homes are out, looks good. Now, in order to finalize it, you gotta pay this fee, because you've been paying this $25 for 4, so nothing will get released until you pay that fine.
You don't need our permission to do that. He doesn't need our permission to do that. That can happen right now.
Right.
But it's, because there's the
Well-
3 properties though. That's the one.
What the real, I guess the favor that you're asking is for the other 2 liens to be released from this property.
From this property.
So either we have 1 clean or we have all 3 still sitting there forever because this guy's never gonna do it then. I mean, I mean, at least we're having 1 and this guy can have a home and it's cleaned. Or else, if he doesn't clean it, then he doesn't get it.
Yeah, I'm not confident in releasing all 3.
No,
Just from this property.
Right.
I'm not requesting to release all 3. What I'm saying is.
I see what you're saying. I got it. I got it.
I'm sorry, it's
No,
very
it's okay.
complex.
Yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah.
So there was a motion and a second already, so.
I'm willing to, like, I really, even if you guys need to talk it over or need additional information.
This
like,
is how we talk it over.
No, I'm saying like,
We are.
because maybe I'm not, describing it properly or maybe.
No, we got
know,
you. It's just it's a complicated situation.
I just want to
Yeah.
make sure that you guys know that no matter what, the county wins, because at least this property, there's now an attempt to clear this up. And yeah, the taxes are gonna be paid, this $12,000 is gonna be paid as well, because if not, then it's gonna stay the way it is, so.
Through the chair, I think what I want clarified is, Courtney, when we're talking about this $12,670, am I understanding correctly that he wants to pay it instead of the property owner taking that out of the purchase price?
My understanding of his purchase and sale agreement is that he would pay the 12,000 and then the amount that he owes the seller will be reduced by the 12,000.
It'll be deducted from the purchase price.
the purchase
So I'm willing-
87,330.
I told him I'm willing to, since he's not in a good financial situation, I said I would pay the fine, I would pay the property, the taxes that are owed, but I would deduct that from the purchase price.
So the purchase price would be 87.
Yeah, it would be, whatever at that time would be the fines and the taxes, then I would just deduct it and then from the purchase price.
So we deny the,
So for me, I don't think that it would be fair to say no to you, primarily because you're looking to buy this property. I understand that, that there are certain risks that you have assumed here, and you have outlined pretty clearly the assumption of those risks. And so for me, to see this property, I know you can't do anything about the other 6, for this property to be rectified, I don't have a problem with moving forward with your request. But as you can tell, tonight we're 4 commissioners, not 5, and 2 have already seconded this denial of your request. So what I'm curious about, it sounds to me like Commissioner Burke would like to see this move forward. Could you give me some guidance, please, Courtney, on what this looks like?
Procedurally with the motion?
Procedurally.
So if the motion were to be voted on at this time and fail because it was a 2-2, then a new motion could be brought forward.
I have one comment. Your request is to reduce it to $500, okay? That is the request on the floor.
Oh, okay, that's why you're denying that.
Right.
Okay, got it.
I want to make a comment on that.
Well,
So
that's your request,
No.
okay? Just, we have to deal with official paperwork. Your request is $500. That's why the motion is to deny the request.
Right, but we're getting, to your point, we're getting mixed signals. We have county council telling us that the 12,670 would get paid. I understand that the paperwork that was before us in the backup is his request to, and historically, my position isn't even the 500, it's staff costs. So what I'm going by is what you've shared with me is this 12,670 that has been reiterated over and over tonight.
And I believe that the paperwork did say 500, but I believe that the applicant has reiterated that he was willing to pay the lien under the under the lien agreement.
But do we have to deny, like, that first, the $500, or?
You don't have to officially, but that's how the motion was presented, was to deny that request, and then
But then we can make another motion.
your
after.
motion, right?
Or I could withdraw my second.
I'll
Yes,
withdraw it.
you could
No,
withdraw your
we-
second.
We can go forward with this oh, no, wait a minute. If you go 2-2.
It's gonna fail anyway. So either way, whatever you wanna do,
2-2,
we're still gonna get to what proposal he has presented to us. So however way, we can vote right now with the motion and second that's on the floor and still accomplish that goal. So whatever you guys, are we keeping the motions intact or?
Unless it goes 2-2, but
Which would
Then it
still
denies.
present, yeah,
Right.
the
It
same
fails, yeah.
option.
that would be a denial. Okay.
Do you
just go ahead.
keep your second?
We can vote on it real quick.
Okay. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed say aye.
Aye.
And, motion fails.
The $500. Now let's talk
$500.
about, yeah.
Right,
All right,
so
so now
my,
take another motion.
my motion would be what we have discussed tonight for the $12,670 of the lien be honored, provided your contractual agreement with the seller goes through. So it's not what's in the paperwork, but what you've presented to us tonight.
So mobile homes are cleaned off, code enforcement inspects, and then you pay the 12,000
With the 60 days.
within 60 days, yeah.
Correct.
Well, I would also add they're properly cleaned from the property and not relocated to another piece of property because we could see those trailers again.
How do you have proof of that though?
Can we do that?
We-
with the disposal company? I don't know.
We
But
do
I'm
have
supposed to
those
inspect the other
addresses
properties.
too, by the way.
But they're already out of
We do have
compliance.
those other addresses, so.
But all that would happen is they just rack up more fines.
I mean, you could certainly add it to the agreement that the mobile homes can't be moved to one of these 6 properties, the other 6
like that.
Yeah,
properties.
there you go.
like
I'm
that
in
too.
favor of that.
Okay. That's my motion.
I don't even know if they're close. Are any of these other 6 close?
Just to make them disappear somehow.
And then, Courtney, just to clarify, if in 60 days they are not cleared, it's just back to square one, and he owes every single day since the 60 days.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay. Well, we'll just, so added to your motion will be a provision in the agreement that the mobile homes on the existing property cannot be moved to one of the other 6 properties owned by the property owner.
Agreed.
Okay, so that's a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right, motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion passes. Good luck.
Thank you, guys.
I wish you
Good
well.
luck to you.
Yeah.
Thank you for trying to make our place look better. All right, we'll move on to number 16, new site update for public safety training facility. With,
I'm here today to request your approval to relocate the proposed fire training facility to the outdoor adventure park. The project is currently planned for Camp Blanding under MOA to construct on Camp Blanding property. Since that agreement was established and upon receiving a GMP, the staff conducted a cost and feasibility review comparing the Camp Blanding site to a county-owned location. Option 1 at the Camp Blanding location is the cost would be just under 4.9 million. Option number 2, the outdoor adventure park, and we are projecting that cost to be just over 4.2 million. Recommendation is option number 2 to construct at the outdoor adventure park. We determined that this would be more beneficial, both financially and operationally, to construct the fire training facility on county-owned property, working with working with Parks and Rec Department. We found that Zone C, which of the outdoor adventure park, where that red square is the Zone C, would be the best option to construct this facility. So the estimated savings by changing the location would be approximately $671,000. This property is county-owned, so that would eliminate us having to ask permission to use the facility that we paid for. Camp Blanding would still have access to use this facility to train on. The site here at the Outdoor Adventure Park is more secure. There is a daily presence there at the location. Restrooms, another benefit is the restroom would be on this site. Vice at Camp Blanding, there's nothing available. This project would be eligible to use the public safety bond funding. And while the relocation would require a little bit to go towards a redesign, the overall project remains more economical. And based on these factors, this option ensures fiscal responsibility and greater flexibility for public safety operations. So again, this is for approval to change the location for this project from Camp Blanding to the Outdoor Adventure Park. Is there any questions?
Any questions?
I have a couple questions.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay, sorry. Chad, I think I was briefed that we have to drill a couple wells.
Yes, sir.
Which category are the well, I don't see it on here.
It's, so the red square,
No, I mean.
Oh.
In terms of cost.
Cost,
oh,
because I think we have to go pretty deep too.
in the earthwork.
The largest, 1.4.
In which one, earthwork?
Earthwork, it
1.4?
comes out of that category.
And the second question I have is, I get a little nervous when we say we're able to use public safety bonds. That's not what we got that money for.
For the public safety.
For the fire tower. So my question is, I don't want to see a problem down the road to build five fire stations, and because we use money on the fire tower.
Commissioner Ranger, I said the same thing in my brief. I wanted to ensure that the initial layout of the public safety bond was to build fire stations.
Correct.
So I wanted the assurance that there would be no lesser fire stations built or, quality deterioration just to do this project.
I mean, why was that put in here? I guess my question is, do we have too much money in the fire safety bond?
Through the chair, if I may.
Go ahead, Joe.
So no, you don't have too much money in the bond, because the goal is still to build, the fire stations. What this does is provide you flexibility. Currently, the burn building is over budget. I mean, as far as what you had in CIP. You would not be able to use bond money, so you'd have to find more CIP money right now to build the burn building if you were doing it on Camp Blanding's property, because to use bond funding, you have to do it on your property. So this really is providing you some flexibility, ensuring that bond funding gets spent within that 3-year time period, and allows you some flexibility in your CIP to go to other fire stations and continue, I guess, pushing that out a little bit further, for lack of a better term. There's no intention here to reduce the number of fire stations or reduce the size or scope of the fire stations that you're currently building or will be building in the future. And I think that was your concern, Commissioner.
That's definitely my concern. We've lived without a fire burn building for a long time.
And I would not be the one to talk to, the gentleman in the white shirts would be able to talk to the need, the requirement of the burn building and what that does for you from a ISO standpoint and other safety and training. But as far as the bond, this prevents you from having to go find more money in your CIP currently to complete this project. Because right now, if you went and moved this and did not use bond funding, you would have to find this extra, I don't know what is it, over $2 million in your CIP. And this ensures that we spend the bond money effectively and efficiently in the 3-year period of time. I think that answers your question and your question.
It doesn't answer my question. So $2 million taken out of this bond fund for the fire burn building, and we can still build the five fire stations on schedule, same distance, same square footage?
I'm going to be cautious on how I answer that, because the intent was to build 5 fire stations at about $12 million apiece originally, $60 million, plus about $4 million that we were going to use for other public safety, buying property, other public safety functions.
And the bond was 65 million?
Bond was 65 million.
65 million.
So the intent on the bond document was always for public safety fire facilities. Fire stations were lined out, but other things were also lined out in that bond document.
This is exactly what it says: to finance the cost of the acquisition and construction of public safety and fire suppression facilities, including fire stations, fire towers, and training facilities, construction or improvements and appurtenances thereto.
When this was written, that language was intentionally put in there. Where it shifted away from the bond is when we went to, if you remember right back in the day, back a couple years ago, we weren't gonna build at the base. We were gonna build somewhere else. We went to the base because we felt that that was gonna optimize our spend without having to buy property or, be able to use some compromise there. Now through our due diligence, we found out that it's actually gonna cost us more money to go to the base. So that's why we kind of pivoted.
And Commissioner, the goal is still to construct those 5 fire stations. Number 20, which is
I don't
done.
wanna hear, I wanna hear we're gonna do it. I want somebody in authority to say we're gonna build
Well, you-
5 stations as planned with the 65 million. This fire tower, I understand the ISO, but I don't understand ISO. But without a fire station, because we don't have the money, it's gonna hurt the, service to our constituents.
So let's go through the fire station. Station 20 is built and complete. Station 20 is done.
Right,
Station 1, Station 22 are currently under construction.
right.
We're waiting for FEMA on Station 24. You approved tonight to clear the trees for 24. And Station 15, my understanding is we're either in agreement or close to an agreement with the pad being done by the developer, and that station will go under construction in the near future. So I think from a staff perspective, all 5 fire stations are still on target. And, if they're, to your point of, I don't think there'll be extra bond money, but maybe with the interest, we are looking at, site acquisition and design for Station 13, Station 16, and Station 21 potentially in addition. So I think your staff, and I'll turn to Ed or to Chief Moats or Charlie, I think the staff's still committed to the 5 fire stations plus this tower as part of the bond.
I have 2 clarifying questions if I can, Madam Chair. I wasn't on the board when the bond was issued. What was the date on the issue? Or ballpark, 23?
July 27th is when
That's the deadline? Okay, because that's what I was gonna get to.
Yep.
Okay,
What has to happen by that date?
you gotta spend all the money.
Spend all the money, but they don't have to actually be built, correct?
Well, you can't, you gotta build them to spend the money because of the way our policies are. But at the end of the day, you have to spend a certain amount of it. It gets into whether that interest that you earn off of it is truly a tax-free bond or not. If the whole thing of the government is if you're bonding and you hold the money longer than 3 years on this project, then they're not considered to be tax-free bonds. And so then you, as the county, will end up with a penalty, which we really don't want to give back the interest that we earned on this money, because that interest is what's going to allow you to continue doing other things with the fire stations. So, that may be what gets you that, another design done or another piece of land bought with that interest.
Madam Chair, with Station 24 and Station 15, in my brief, we were talking about, permitting holdups and those types of things. We're at, where are we, October of 25, so you have a year and a half, almost a little less than 2 years to get to July of 27. How primitive are we in the process of 24 and 15?
I don't know. Do you want to address 24 and 15?
Station 24 and Station 15.
To the board, through the chair, Ed Dendor, Capital Projects Director. As far as Station 24, again, that station was brought up actually earlier this evening with the clearing of the property. It's been designed. We're hitting the right time and the right season to be able to clear it, so we are not interfering with the tricolored bats. That's the only time you could do it, as well as gopher tortoises. As soon as this gets cleared up and the federal government opens back up, we're thoroughly expecting FEMA to come back with their grant as well as our ability to move forward with it. As far as 15, there's a current existing agreement with the developer. They're in the process of developing our Pad Ready site. This is off of Lake Asbury in the Lake Asbury area. That station is already designed as well, well on its way for a design. They're working with the civil, again, for the property that it's going to be placed on. So we have a high level of confidence for both 24 and 15, as well as, of course, the other 3 fire stations. One, I think, is Troy had mentioned 20 is already complete. 1 and 22 are well coming out of the ground. So again, those are the 5. Our biggest challenge again is, as Troy had mentioned, to be able, like we had done with the transportation side when we had the bond, when you're looking downrange, you're not spending a lot of money when you're doing the design of the permitting. It's really in the construction end, again, that hockey stick. And playing and laying that out, we as a team with the fire department, projects team and our project controls, we continually actually meet every month. We've been meeting for the last month to look at this and to play it as what is that expense curve against that July of 27. That's why I know that date clear and present, because we have to be able to hit that mark. And so as you start laying out the cash flow across all the different projects, and then as well, it's kind of like Brewster's Million. Then all of a sudden now you have the interest that you're earning on it. That's an opportunity to add even more money into the program. So that's why we opened it up to also Station 13, 21, as well as 16, to be able to say, as we're spending and looking, are there other options or inroads, not necessarily off ramps, but to be able to use the money for its intended purposes, which was what our council had laid out earlier.
Any other questions, comments?
Madam Chair, if I may, one other thing that was not briefed, but it's important that the board knows. I spoke to Colonel Todd Hopkins personally about it. He understands the move and the reasoning behind that. We also talked about the restrictions. There's a height restriction within that area, and his team has taken a look at it. It's between 35 feet and 45 feet is kind of what we would. And Ed has sent out a letter to them, which is, would be coming back here, and there shouldn't be any issues with that on the phone call that I had with them and via email. So I just wanted to also bring that to the board's attention. So, any questions for us?
I have a question. So what money has already been spent as far as design or whatever is with Camp Landing? Because I was asked that today, so.
Yeah, I think our last report was roughly 10 million. We had cash flowed out last year. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you meant cash flow total. I thought you meant as far as the total bond.
You'll
Sorry.
get thrown off that
Let me
tower if we
back up.
spent 10 million.
85,000.
85,000, okay. So even with that, we're still gonna be saving.
That was figured into
671?
your price, and because you're still gonna end up
Oh, it's in there.
with a savings, even though the 85,000.
Maybe re-ask the question. My
So
apologies.
how much did we spend on design for Camp Blanding currently? How much? 186,000. The change for design fees will be the 85,000, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so that's, your 85,000 is the change in design fees. We're not starting the design from scratch, it's
the civil work.
It's redesign.
mostly.
You're here on a hill, now we're not on a hill, so it's the redesign, the
Okay, so I'm
drainage
gonna
and things.
say it in my terms.
Yep.
So 186,000 has been spent for design. We're still gonna be able to use it, but still have a change that will equal 85,000.
Correct, ma'am.
So really, we're only in the whole 85,000 total, but still we're gonna have 671,000 in savings,
Yes,
total
ma'am.
project.
Yes, ma'am.
That's what I meant to
Perfect way
say.
Got it,
Yes,
okay.
ma'am.
Hopefully I'll understood my
Yeah.
terminology.
So at the end of the day, your net change is $85,000.
Yes, ma'am.
But you will generate a $600,000 savings by making that $85,000 change.
Yes.
I have one last question, and that we ran into trouble with the BTP with interest earned on tax-free bonds, to the point we had to take all the money and put it in a special place instead of investing it. Are we gonna run into that problem here?
So that's what these guys are trying to keep us from getting into is, and part of that was because of the requirements of the 5 years versus 3 years. In this one, you only have 3 years to spend it. And Rick walked back in the room at the exact right time because really they're the ones that would handle that. But no, that's the intent of us trying to get this money spent within the 3 years, is so we don't have to go back into the slugs and start moving money around to deal with how we earn the interest. That's our goal.
Rick says we're good.
And the clerk's office, they are part of our monthly, if you would, round up to reproject and reforecast and continually relook at that target.
All right, any other questions? I'll take a motion.
I'll move approval.
I'll second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes 4-0.
Thank you.
All right, we have letters for action, discussion of appointments to the Middleburg Clay Hill Citizens Advisory Committee. Applications for reappointment to the Middleburg Clay Hill CAC were received from Paula Cloud, Karen Johns, Belinda Johnson, Aaron Sayer, and Edward Wallace, and we thank each and every one of you for your service. And we also have an application for individuals seeking appointment with David Huff. And again, thank you again to David. I have been told that this is Commissioner Condon's district, and she was in favor, so I will take a motion.
I'll move approval.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And none are opposed. 21, Tourist Development Council appointment of Cheryl Starnes. City of Green Cove Springs has a rotating elected official seat on the Tourist Development Council from 2025 to 2029. City of Green Cove Springs is requesting that Cheryl Starnes serve on behalf of the City Council to replace Mr. Thomas Smith.
I just want to say we miss Mr. Smith on the council. He did a really good job, but I know Ms. Starnes will make a good replacement, so I'll move approval.
Second motion.
All right, a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, passes 4-0. All right, we have letters of documentation for the fire station site clearing services and security gate and card readers. And I will move on to our second public comment. Do we have anyone else to speak? I don't have any cards. Anyone? All right, I'll close the public comment. And we are on to Commission Auditor. Do you have anything, Heather? No? All right, County Attorney.
Just to let you know that the Charter Review Commission did meet on Monday, October the 20th, and their next meeting is scheduled for November 17th, which is also a Monday. And that's it.
And County Manager?
Madam Chair, Commissioners, just 3 comments. First of all, big reminder, our next BCC meeting will be Monday, and it's Monday, November 10th. Tuesday is Veterans Day, and we had this in the schedule. We put it out via communications, and I just want to stress it again to the community that's watching and to the board. Next, Jones Edmonds, by our last meeting, the Stormwater Master Plan was distributed to each of you in this binder that's here. It is an executive summary that's in here. There are over 10,000 pages of this master plan. If you would like to see it electronically, please let me know. But the expert summary is here, and Brian dropped this off today for you all. And just a reminder on that, he will be returning back on November 10th to talk about the way ahead and looking for approval or denial to move ahead. The last thing I have, so Madam Chair, in front of you is an award. It's a merit award from the Design Build Institute of America. I had an opportunity to attend this presentation. It was given to Ed and the team. The team consisted of Richard, Steve Kateris, WGI, which includes Carlos, Traverse Richards, Eisman and Russo for CI inspections, Superior Construction, and RS&H Engineering for Cathedral Oak Parkway. This is one of 2 awards that'll be given out and that we were expecting to receive. It was alluded to at the last board meeting. I just wanted to bring it back to this board meeting so that y'all could see that. And as we all know, I think Ed may have boogied out perhaps, but I just wanted to give him recognition and the entire team. And I may add, the attorney's office is part of that with all of the right-of-way and everything that was acquired for that and the legal agreements. So again, really great day to receive some recognition in this merit award from DBIA. Pending any questions, that's all I have.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, Commissioner Ranger, would you like to start?
Yeah, I'll go ahead. Thank you, Madam Chair. We already discussed many times, Veteran Day is coming up. A lot of activities, breakfasts and things like that, races and such. So just want to, we give recognition to all the veterans, but I want to do that once more and thank them all, especially those that are standing to watch today. They're out there just as, when we lie down and put our heads on our pillows, they're awake, and I did it many years. The mid to 04 watch is not fun. But anyway, thank you to all first responders and veterans. The other thing on top of the Jones Edmonds report is a regional resiliency action plan, which was done by the regional council with the help of Charlie Latham was on the committee, myself, Doug Conkey. I shouldn't have started this without getting, I think that's everybody. But anyway, it chronicles some of the risks that the region takes, the 7-county region has in weather events, natural disasters and things like that. And so without a plan, you don't have a leg to stand on to ask for a grant. So with a plan, you can get grants to mitigate a lot of these issues. So I just got it today, I think, from Charlie. But anyway, I'll leave it in Betsy's office if you want to take a look at it. It's pretty extensive. That's all I have. Thank you.
Commissioner Kamara?
I have three things. One, I wanted to just take a moment in light of the conversations that we have had tonight to say thank you to Howard Wanamaker and your leadership concerning the strategic plan. And the reason why I bring that back up is the tenor of the conversation seemed to suggest that there's maybe misunderstanding as to what it is that this does. And I'm grateful for our plan because, one, to your point, it's the first one that the county has had ever. Two, that you look to the board for direction on that, and you wait, even though we've had all these discussions, you wait to get direction from us through these workshops. So like there's just fidelity to systems, and I bring that up because it's also a request. I want to fold in a request because I didn't know until tonight, having asked the question about the sidewalks, that the county staff heard my inquiry all those months ago and did something with it. And I know that you take notes during all of these meetings and you have your staff meetings the next day and you flesh out all of these concerns that we raise. But my ask is to be apprised of those efforts because it should be commended, it should be noted. Your team is doing a phenomenal job and I'm grateful. Had I not asked that question tonight, I would have been none the wiser. And so thank you, thank you. There's an ask in there to just know what's going on. And then the other thing, another thank you to county staff. I think Troy oh, there you are, Troy's there. Jess, Mary was there. Caleb, no, it wasn't Caleb, it was, who was it? It was Craig, yes, it was Craig. All of these movers and shakers in the county, staff, team, who showed up to Oak Leaf last week for our first community meeting concerning the library. Very strong turnout. Thank you for leading. Of course, our architect and his project manager were also there, leading the discussions, getting community involvement. And so I say thank you again, Mary. You did a great job leading those conversations and giving some assurances. And last but not least, I bring to everybody's attention about the Veterans Day 5K that's happening at Oak Leaf High School. Ansel Lewis has already spoken about it tonight. But here's what I wanted to highlight. One, thank you to county staff for all of the effort that has been put into pulling that together. It has been a unique partnership with the Veterans Council, a unique partnership with the school board. And until I saw Mike Sella's article, I did not know that a coffee Howard and I called with Ansel led to the Veterans Council having this be their largest fundraising effort. So thank you, even all that time ago, us putting our heads together, roping in Ansel, and it's a great way to support our veterans in this community. And I had no idea that that would unfold. So just, if you are a runner, you are invited to come out. I'll be out there running too. Hopefully it rains again this year. And we can cool off. I think this year it's supposed to be true to the 3.1 miles. We'll see. We'll see. Last year it was longer. Did not appreciate that. But you are welcome. And then, of course, all of the other county events for Veterans Day to honor those who have served. Please, 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 we'd love to see you out there. That's all I have tonight.
Thank you. Last but not least.
Well, Commissioner Compere, I'm not much of a runner. I used to have to run 180 feet from first base to second base. And if you hit it far enough, you don't have to run fast at all. You can trot. So, but I'm going to give it a go in the 5K, I think. I'll give it a go. So if I can beat 30 minutes, that's a 10-minute mile. It actually might be ambitious for me. I got a lot of dad weight going on. But nevertheless, no, that's going to be a great event. Couple things. So got to attend the Mercy Support Services Gala on the 16th, and Patrick Hale and their team they continue to press on, and the support of the community is fantastic. They're getting closer to breaking ground on the village, so it's a great nonprofit to support in our county. Hey, the Orange Park Fall Festival, we went on Sunday, was just busting at the seams with people. I'm excited for Teddy to pull the placer data and present that to the TDC. Just a huge hit, and just continues to be a headlining event for our community. So thank you to everyone that attended. Also went to the Clay EDC luncheon. They did a really interesting format. They had all three hospital presidents up on stage, and I'm very grateful for Ed Hubel and Brian Walrath and Chad Patrick, the three presidents, because I truly believe that those guys care about Clay County, and they make decisions with their organization for our community in mind. And I think one of the things in this job is realizing how important hospitals are to a community, not only from a service perspective, but a funding perspective. They're our largest corporate tax contributor. So that was a good luncheon. 2 updates in my district for US 17. So DOT has continued work on the intersection of US 17 and 220. I've had a couple residents reach out about this, and thank you for letting me know, and I drove it 2 days ago. I worked with our county engineer to contact DOT this afternoon. There is a new traffic pattern coming off of Bald Eagle going across 17 to 220, so please be alert. Both middle lanes go straight, and the left lane is a dedicated left, and the right lane is a dedicated right. I worked with Richard this afternoon to hopefully get DOT to put up some better signage. We appreciate DOT working hard and getting it out there. I just think the signage we gotta improve until people learn the new pattern. Same thing with Water Oak, where Baptist is off 17 and coming off of Pine Avenue. They'll be doing some work to put some, I guess they call it chicken markings to let drivers know which lane they're supposed to be in. So we're working on that. Also, a shout out to the program Young Life. Sunday night, I got to attend the Clay County Young Life Banquet, which is a program that brings Christ to students where they are. So it was a really, really cool speaker. Speaker designate Garrison was there as well. His family's always been big in that organization. So thank you to Christy Hinks for the invite. That was a lot of fun. I just want to say, item number 9 tonight is a prime example of what we consistently hear from the community that they want us to do. Over the past year, We want the developers to pay for the roads. We want the roads to go. A resident that got up and spoke and said, we'll explain it. So great job, Commissioner Burke, pulling the item, and that is what it looks like in action. Just to kind of put that out there, a mobility fee and an impact fee versus paying for a roadway, I would argue paying for the roadways more expensive in a lot of ways, depending on how those mobility fees and impact fees can be spent. So, and then the last thing, I just, I don't really particularly care to divulge in this too much, but I just need to back up Sheriff Michelle Cook. We had a resident tonight that stood up at the podium and accused the sheriff of saying something that the sheriff that I know and the sheriff that I've gotten to build a relationship with would never say. Sheriff Cook would never say something like that. I commend our sheriff for all the great work that she's done to protect free speech in this county. I believe she's went above and beyond. She's been very proactive in ensuring our community is safe, but most of all, our community has the constitutional right to voice their opinion and voice and exercise their right of free speech. So for someone to stand up and say that was not appropriate. So I just wanted to put that out there as well. So other than that, great job, Madam Chair, tonight. That's all I got.
Thank you. All right, so I will end it up. Of course, very thankful for all veterans and excited about I will be running too. And so, yeah, we got to get Commissioner Condon out there, JB.
I was waiting for somebody to ask me.
I'm personally asking.
Actually, I have a meeting in Pensacola.
Yeah.
Sure you do.
Let's see. We have Halloween Friday night, so everybody be careful. Take all those precautions and just have a great time, of course. I know your kids are going to be having a blast. This will be our first year with no trick-or-treaters out of our house. Oh, it's so sad.
Come to Eagle Harbor. There's like 9,000.
Oh, I'm going to be out there looking with with all my people, but let's see. We Miss Senior High is November 8th at UNF, and all the area high schools will their queen will be competing along with my daughter. So just everybody be praying for them, and anybody wants to come. It's 30 girls, so my husband's not really looking forward to this one. So, woo. All right, and then a sad thing. We had a death in front of Clay High. A kid that graduated last year has a younger brother at school, and I just want to have prayers for that family. I've been praying. I just can't imagine getting that phone call. My heart and prayers go out to that family, as well as where there was also a bad accident in my district where a kid fell off a car. I know he's had surgery, and I'm just again praying for that family, and I know I'm sure everyone else here will too. So if there is nothing else for the good of the order, anyone? Saying that, meeting is adjourned.
Very nicely done tonight,
Thank you, my dear. Thank y'all for helping me along.
Yeah, good job.